Okay, so I know I haven't uploaded a video like this in a while. I actually have, they're just unlisted. But anyway, I just wanted to like rant real quick about this really dumb point of criticism that a lot of people have for Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. And that is that although Tatsuya begins speaking, because he's no longer the protagonist, so he's not silent anymore, a lot of people really don't like how Maya becomes a silent protagonist. Like, even though that would be really awkward. And I know there's been a lot of like recent conversations about like whether or not the silent protagonists are like really good, like in Persona specifically or whatever. I don't care about that. I'm completely neutral to both types of protagonists. Like when it came to Fire Emblem Three Houses, for example, I did not even realize that Byleth was a silent protagonist until like months after playing the game when I read someone mentioning it on like Reddit or something. Like that is how little I care about that debate and how little I even notice it when I'm playing video games. But my opinion is that it actually is really good that Maya is a silent protagonist. And the reason why is because, like, aside from it being awkward if, like, Tatsuya started speaking and Maya kept speaking, it actually really, like, humanizes her in a way, which is very ironic, I know. But it lets you, like, relate to her more, and it lets you, like really get into her head more. And I don't mean that in the sense that like she's a silent protagonist, so therefore you can project yourself onto her and stuff like that. I mean it in the sense that like you already know from Innocent Sin that out of all the playable characters, she's actually very bad at introspection. She never accepts her shadow as a part of her. Despite her being like the first one to be able to do so, even like she's of the Moon Arcana, she has a lot of really like a deep darkness within her. I know that's like an edgy way of putting it. And then when it comes to like Eternal Punishment's cast, until Tatsuya joins the party, you're with adults. And so I said this on Twitter like a while ago. I'm not going to go look up my old like replies and stuff like that. But it's basically a way for you to be able to see how Maya truly is when she doesn't have to put a brave face on for children. You know, because in Innocent Sin, throughout pretty much the entire game, especially by the time Yukino leaves, she basically puts it on herself to be like the group mom, the big sis, whatever you want to call it, basically saying that like, hey, I'm an adult, I'm completely confident, everything's okay, and so you kids should feel the same way. Like everything's fine, your big sis Maya's here, that kind of thing. But in Eternal Punishment, not only are the stakes like from the jump so much higher, but she's also around adults that really would be weirded out, and like they really should not be expecting her to put on any kind of act whatsoever. And like it is clear from the dialogue in Eternal Punishment that she does try to still be positive and everything. Um, but it's definitely not to the same extent as you can see during the conversation that Katsuya and she has outside of Parabellum right before Nate or Ellie joined the party. Where she like basically point blank like asks her a certain question like, do you ever get tired of who you are, stuff like that. He starts opening up to her about like his anxieties and stuff like that, and like that really wouldn't happen because she puts up a distance between herself and the other party members in Innocent Sin by being that kind of maternal figure, intentionally so. And so I feel like a lot of people just like, I mean, I know this is going to sound mean and everything, and I don't want to sound like if you disagree with me on this, you are wrong, like straight out or anything. Like, it's very open to interpretation. There could be something I'm missing, and like, I am biased. I've literally played through Eternal Punishment like a billion times. Like, there is very much a way that I interpret the game when I play it at this point. But that said, I just feel like a lot of Persona fans are not really good when it comes to like interpreting characters and like the stories and stuff like that. Like I don't know, I just feel like a lot of people need to be better at media analysis and literacy in general. And I also feel like a lot of people try to interpret the original Persona games like how they try to interpret the modern ones, and I don't really think that's like a good way to go about it, considering that the objectives for the games and how they're written and how they play are so radically different from each other. And yeah, so that's my opinion. If you think that Maya is not a good protagonist when she stops speaking, just because like you like seeing Maya's personality and stuff like that, that's totally fine. If you disagree with me or if you missed something, that's totally fine. Feel free to roast me in the comments below or be like, yeah, you're totally right. I don't really care, but yeah, okay.